Chapter 9. The account of Ruru and description of King Parikshit's stay in a secret shelter. Parikshit said, when Muni Ruru went to his room to sleep, his mind was disturbed with passion. His father, Pramti, noticing his sorrowful expression, asked him, "O Ruru, why do you look so absent-minded?" Ruru, consumed by passion, replied, "I saw a girl named Pramadwara in the hermitage of Sthulkesha. I wish for her to become my wife." Hearing this, Pramti immediately went to the hermitage of Sthulkesha. He pleased him with various conversations and asked for his beautiful daughter in marriage. Sthulkesha promised to give his daughter in marriage on an auspicious day. Thus, both the household sages, Pramti and Sthulkesha, worked together to make arrangements for the wedding ceremony and collected the necessary articles in the hermitage. Meanwhile, the fair-eyed Pramadwara, while playing in the courtyard of the house, accidentally stepped on a serpent. The serpent bit her, and she immediately succumbed to the venom. Upon seeing Pramadwara lifeless, all the munis in the hermitage gathered and wept sorrowfully, filling the air with wails of grief. A tumultuous uproar ensued. Though life had left Pramadwara's body, her radiant form still shone brightly, appearing almost alive. Her foster father and guardian, Sthulkesha, overcome with sorrow, wept aloud. Hearing the anguished cries, Ruru rushed to the scene. He saw Pramadwara lying lifeless on the ground, yet still radiating her brilliant glow. Seeing Sthulkesha and the other rishis weeping, Ruru stepped away from the scene, his heart weighed down with immense grief. With a broken heart, he lamented aloud, "Alas, fate has surely sent this serpent to be the cause of my misery, to shatter my happiness. What am I to do now? Where shall I go? My beloved has fallen into the jaws of death. I do not wish to live any longer, bereft of my wife. Oh, what an unfortunate wretch I am! I was never able to embrace my beautiful darling. I have been deprived of kissing her face and marrying her. Alas, fie upon this human birth, may my life end at this very moment. For, out of mere shame, I could not throw myself into the burning pyre along with my beloved. Oh, when death does not come to the sorrowful, even when prayed for, how can I expect divine happiness in this world? So, let me now throw myself into a lake, enter a burning fire, drink venom, or strangle myself." Thus, Ruru wailed bitterly on the bank of the river. After long contemplation, he finally found a way and thought, "What benefit will come from death? What will be gained by ending my life? Rather, suicide would bring upon me an irretrievable sin, and my father and mother would be heartbroken. If I take my own life, my misfortune and enemies will be gladdened, there is no doubt about this. What benefit will my beloved gain from my death or my sorrow? Suppose I die, even then, my beloved will not become mine in the next world. There are many faults in committing suicide, but there is no fault in preserving my life." Thus coming to a decision, Ruru bathed, performed Achman, purification ritual, and became pure. He then took water in his hands and vowed, "Whatever good deeds I have done, worshipping the gods, serving my preceptors, teachers, and superiors, performing homa, sacrificial ceremonies, japa, recitations, and tapasya, austerities, whatever knowledge I have gained from the Vedas and the Gayatri Mantra, and whatever devotion I have shown in worshipping the sun, let all my merit restore my beloved to life. If my beloved does not return to life, I will certainly give up my own life." Thus saying, he mentally worshipped the Devas and threw the sacred water from his hands onto the ground. Ruru, with a sorrowful heart, continued weeping. At that moment, a celestial messenger of the Devas descended from the heavens and said, "O Brahman, do not attempt such a bold act. How can your beloved return to life? The life period of this beautiful girl, born from the union of a Gandharv seed and an Apsara's womb, has come to its natural end. Now, look for another beautiful woman. O one of dull understanding, why do you cry in vain? What deep bond of affection exists between you and this girl? She passed away unmarried, before she could even become your wife." At this, Ruru replied with firm resolve, "O Deva messenger, I will not marry any other woman, whether my beloved is restored to life or not. If she does not regain her life, I shall also relinquish my own life at this very instant." At Ruru's greatest insistence, the Deva messenger became pleased and spoke the following truthful, benevolent, yet beautiful words. "O Brahman, I will suggest a way to you. Kindly listen. This was ordained by the Devas long, long ago. You may give up half of your lifespan, and in return, This girl will be restored to life immediately. Ruru said, O Deva messenger, I willingly give half of my life span to this girl, there is no doubt in this. Let my beloved return to life at once and rise again. The king said, O ministers, at this moment, Vishwavasu, upon learning that his daughter Pramadwara had died, descended from the heavens in a celestial chariot and arrived at the scene. Then, the Gandharv king and the Deva messenger both went to Yam, the Dharmaraja, and pleaded before him. O Dharmaraja, Vishwavasu's daughter was bitten by a serpent and has now come under your domain. The Brahman Ruru is willing to sacrifice half of his own life for her revival. So, O son of the sun, kindly grant this girl life again through the merit of Ruru's purity and sacrifice of his lifespan. Dharmaraja, Yam, replied, O Deva messenger, if you wish for the girl to live again, then let her be revived through the subtraction of half of Ruru's lifespan. Go at once and return her to Ruru. The king continued, O ministers, Yam thus decreed to the Deva messenger. Without delay, the messenger returned, revived Pramadwara, and handed her back to Ruru. Then, on an auspicious day, Ruru married her. Thus, the Rishi's daughter, Pramadwara, though fallen into death, was brought back to life by the virtue of Ruru's sacrifice. Parikshit then addressed his ministers. O counsellors, to preserve life, one must always make every effort according to the teachings of the scriptures. This can be done through the use of divine gems, sacred mantras, and medicinal herbs. Thus, King Parikshit ordered the construction of a magnificent 7-story palace, where he stationed his best and most powerful guards. He also placed scholars well versed in the knowledge of gems, money, sacred chants, mantras, and medicinal plants for his protection. Once all precautions were taken, he immediately ascended the grand palace. To appease the wrath of the Muni Shringi, the king sent the sage Gaurmukha to him, repeatedly requesting, let the crime of this humble devotee be forgiven. For self-preservation, the king gathered Brahmans from all directions, those perfect in their knowledge and application of mantras. The minister's sons strategically placed elephants at the entrances to ensure that no one could ascend to the top of the palace. What more can be said than the fact that even air could not find an entrance there once the order of no admission was given, let alone any living being. King Parikshit remained in his secured palace, counting the days until the serpent Takshaka was destined to arrive. He continued to perform his daily bath, Sandhya Vandana, prayers at dawn and dusk, and meals. Even while in seclusion, he consulted with his ministers and governed his kingdom from there. At this time, a Brahman named Kashyapa, well versed in mantras, heard of the king's curse. He thought to himself, if I can cure the king of Takshaka's venom, I will surely be rewarded with immense wealth. With this expectation of great riches, the Brahman decided to travel to the place where the cursed King Parikshit was staying. Thus determined, Kashyapa set out from his house, seeking to offer his expertise in exchange for royal rewards. Thus ends the 9th chapter of the 2nd book on the account of Ruru and description of King Parikshit's stay in a secret shelter in the Mahapurana Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses.